Hello friends, good afternoon. Today we are going to perform one new experiment, comparison of capacities of two capacitors by method of mixture. The circuit diagram needed to perform this experiment is shown on this chart here, as you can see in this video. This is the power supply needed for charging of capacitor C1 and capacitor C2 alternately. Okay, this is the key. After opening the key, voltage from this will not available for charging of C1 or C2. After closing this key only, voltage of this power supply will be available for charging of capacitors C1 and C2 simultaneously. R1 and R2 are the resistance boxes. C1 and C2 are the two capacitors which are to be compared. These two will form a bridge. This will form here a DC bridge. As you know, in DC bridge, capacitor C1 won't come. But we are using capacitor C1 and C2 here because we are charging capacitor C1 and C2 simultaneously, either through resistance R1 or through resistance R2, depending on whether you are using this resistance box R1 or this resistance box R2. Okay, and this key 1 2 3 1 2 3, this is red R, this is black B. You can see them here. I will show you there later on. Okay, so this key is known as DPDT meaning that double pole double throw switch. DPDT. Okay, this is common. These two will form one pole. These two will form the second pole. Okay, you may call this as first pole, this as second pole, or this as first pole, this as second pole. This is common to both the poles. Okay, and therefore this key is DPDT, double pole double throw. You can throw the key from common to this pole, or from this common to this pole, on both sides, on left side as well as on right side. And therefore we call this key as DPDT key, that is double pole double throw. At a time we can throw the key to one pole from common, at other time we can throw the key to other pole from common, and therefore we call this key as DPDT or double pole double throw key. This is going to help us to charge capacitors C1 and C2 simultaneously, either through resistance R1 or through resistance R2. This is also going to help us to discharge both the capacitors C1 and C2 either through R1 or R2 simultaneously, and therefore use of this DPDT, double pole double throw key, is very important. Okay, then this is the ballistic galvanometer which is used to measure the throw because of the charge of C1 and C2 discharging through the BG. So you will find this circuit diagram here. This circuit diagram is to be remembered by you because in examination you will be asked to draw this circuit diagram. After that you will be asked to construct this circuit and get them checked by the examiner. After that you will go to perform this experiment of comparison of capacities of two capacitors by method of a mixture. This circuit is built here. As you see, this is the DPDT. Red, black. Okay, 1 2 3 1 2 3. This and this corresponding to common. These two corresponding to one pole. These two corresponding to other pole. This key can be thrown from common to this pole or from common to this pole, and therefore we call this key as DP/dt or double pole double throw key. This is capacitor C1, capacitor C2. We want to compare these two capacitors here by the method of mixture. This is ballistic galvanometer, which we are going to measure the throw or deflection because of discharge of capacitor C1, discharge of capacitor C2. This is resistance box R1, this is resistance box R2. In parallel with this BG, here we are using the tap key. This is the power supply. You have to connect this circuit this way by using the circuit diagram without any mistake. If the circuit constructed by you is not as per this circuit diagram, this circuit will not work. Moreover, you have to take care that there should not be any loose connection. If any loose connections are present in the circuit you build, it will not work. It may refuse to work or it may malfunction. To avoid malfunctioning or non-working of this circuit, the connection should be made very correctly using this circuit diagram, and once you confirm that the connections you are made are correct, you can go to perform this experiment. There is only one part, okay, and in this part, in this observational part, we are going to take about 10 reading, about 10 observations. What we do, we shall first take out resistance 1000 from R1. What we do, we shall first take out resistance 1000 from resistance box R1, 0 resistance from resistance box R2. Okay, now whenever this DP/dt is downward, it is thrown downward, charging of capacitor C1 and C2 is started. Charging up capacitor C1 and C2 is started whenever this DP/dt is thrown downward. Let us allow half a minute or less than that for charging up these two capacitors. After that, throw the key upward so that there will be deflection because of discharge of these two capacitors. Whenever this key is thrown upward, this capacitor get discharged through R1. The current will flow through the bridge in one direction only, and therefore you will get deflection is equal to phi division. Now, after writing phi far, or just remember it that for R1 is equal to 1000 ohm, the deflection we got on the right side is phi division. Okay, now let us take out 500 ohm from R2 and check the deflection by discharging these two capacitors, and we will find that it is not 0. As it is not 0, it means that this reading is not correct. We have to go for other value of R2. Let us go for R2 is equal to 1000 close 500. Actually, we may need to do such many observations till the deflection here comes 0. Deflection is 1000 here, 1000 here, it should show 0. Now, to get the null deflection, to balance the bridge, we have to try for the values of R2. Let us first take away 500 from R2. We have taken away 1000 from R1. We have seen deflection. Let us take away 500 from R2, see the deflection. We will find that the deflection is to the positive side. It means that the bridge is not balanced. Let us go for 700. Let us go for 700 and see whether we are getting null deflection. again we see that we are not getting the null deflection. Let us go for 1000. Close all the keys, just take out key of 1000 from R2 and see what deflection you are getting, and you find that the deflection is null. As deflection is null, R1 1000, R2 needed for null deflection is also 1000. This is the first observation. For second observation, let us make R2 0 first. Let us make R2 0 first, then take out 2000 from R1 and close 1000. Charge and discharge very slightly, no need to press the keys. We get deflection. Deflection is about 10 divisions. Okay. Now for R1, when 1000, we got R2 1000. Let us try whether we will get deflection, null deflection if we take out 2000 from R2. So let me take out 2000. After taking out 2000, let me try for deflection smoothly, and you will find that we are getting null deflection. As we are getting null deflection, the value of R2 needed to make null deflection when R1 is 2000 is R2 2000. For third observation, let us make R2 0 and R1 is equal to 3000. Charging is done. Discharge, you will get deflection. Deflection is to the right side. Now let us take out 3000 from R2 and see the deflection. When we take out 3000 from R2 and discharge the capacitors, we find that we are getting null deflection. As we are getting null deflection, we can write R2 is equal to 3000 for third observation. For fourth observation, again make R2 0, take out 4000 from R1 and see what deflection you are getting after discharging the capacitors. We are getting deflection in the right direction. Okay, you see the deflection is to the right direction of the 0. Now let us take out 4000 from R2 and discharge both the capacitors through the BG to observe the deflection, and you will find that when R2 is 4000, R1 is 4000, we are getting null deflection. It means that the bridge is balanced. Then let us go to fifth one. Make R2 0, R1 is equal to 5000 ohm. See the deflection. Discharge of C1 C2 gives deflection to the right of 0. Okay, then start charging of C1 and C2 and take out 5000 from resistance box R2. Discharge C1 and C2 and find the deflection. You will find that the deflection is null. Tap it so that the spot will come at 0. Discharge and you will find that you get null deflection when R2 is 5000 for R1 is 5000. This sixth observation, make R2 0 again and go for R1 is equal to 6000. After going R1 is equal to 6000, let us discharge capacitors C1 and C2 through the BG. We get deflection towards right of 0. Start charging of C1 and C2 and take out 6000 ohm from resistance box R2. After taking out 6000 ohm from resistance box R2, discharge capacitors C1 and C2 and you will find that the BG gives null deflection, and therefore value of R2 needed for null deflection when R1 is 6000 is R2 6000. For seventh observation, make R2 again 0, take out 7000 from resistance box R1 and discharge capacitors C1 and C2 through BG. The deflection is again towards right of the 0. Start charging of capacitors C1 and C2. Use tap key to bring the spot at 0. After that, take out 7000 from resistance box R2 and discharge capacitors C1 and C2 through BG to see null deflection. You will find that we are getting here null deflection, and therefore R2 needed for null deflection when R1 1000 is also R1 7000 is also R2 7000. Now make R2 0 for 8 observation and take out 8000 from R1 and discharge capacitors C1 and C2 through BG to give deflection to the right side. After that, make use of the tap key and bring the spot at 0. Start charging of capacitors C1 and C2 and then take out 8000 from resistance box R2 and discharge C1 C2 through BG to get null deflection. This completes the 8th observation. After that the 9th observation. For 9th observation, let us take R1 is equal to 9000 ohms. Make R2 0 by plugging in all the keys tightly. C1 and C2 are charged. Now discharge them and we will find the observation that the deflection is towards right of the 0. Now start charging of C1 and C2 at the same time. Verify that the spot is at 0. If it is not at 0, use the tap key so that it will come at 0. And after that, take out 9000 from resistance box R2 and discharge the capacitors C1 and C2 through BG to get the null deflection, and we saw that we got the null deflection. So write R2 is equal to 9000 when R1 is 9000. And the last observation. For last observation, again we have to make R2 0 by plugging in all the keys tightly. Take out 10,000 from R1 and remaining all the keys are tightly plugged in. During this, the capacitors are charged fully. Now discharge them and we will get deflection towards right of 0. Start charging up C1 and C2 and adjust the 0 spot at the 0 position by using the tap key. Now take out 10,000 from resistance box R2, discharge C1 C2 through BG to get the null deflection, and we saw that we got null deflection after discharging capacitors C1 and C2 through the BG. And therefore for R1 is equal to 1000, put R2 also equal to 10,000. For R1 is equal to 10,000, put R2 is also equal to 10,000. This is the readings we have noted. Initially we took R1 1000. Okay, we tried various values of R2 to get null deflection, but we got null deflection only when R2 is made 1000. Similarly, for R1 is equal to 2000, for null deflection R2 needed is also 2000. For R1 is equal to 3000, R2 needed for null deflection is also 3000. For R1 is equal to 4000, R2 needed for null deflection is 4000. For R1 is equal to 5000, R2 needed for null deflection is 5000. For R1 is equal to 6000, R2 needed for null deflection is also 6000. For R1 is equal to 7000, R2 needed for null deflection is also 7000. For R1 is equal to 8000, R2 needed for null deflection is also 8000. For R1 is equal to 9000, R2 needed for null deflection is also 9000. And finally we saw that for R1 is equal to 10,000, R2 needed for null deflection is also 10,000. Do the calculations in the third column, where the formula written is C1 by C2 is equal to R2 by R1, and after performing the calculations we find that the answer coming in the third column is 1 for every observation. If we take mean of these in the last column, we will get the answer is equal to 1. And the conclusion we can draw from this observation table and performance of this experiment that the capacitors C1 and C2 used in this experiment are of equal capacity. This is the conclusion of comparison of capacities of two capacitors by method of mixture. Remember one thing, here C1 and C2 are given equal and therefore you got R1 and R2 equal. It is not necessary that C1 and C2 always given equal. Examiner may give you the two capacitors of different values. Maybe C2 double of C1, maybe C2 1/3 of C1, or reverse of these things. And therefore, in examination, you have to very cautious for the circuit diagram, for construction of the circuit, and for the observations. There should not be any loose connection in your circuit. If any loose connection is there in your circuit, you will get a wrong result. You may feel that the result we have written here in the exam is correct because we got this result in the regular practical. This is always not true. Sometimes you may be provided equal capacitors, but not necessarily the capacitors provided you will always be equal. The examiner may provide you capacitors of various values and therefore you have to perform the experiment very correctly. Remember this thing. This is about comparison of capacities of two capacitors by method of mixture. I hope you got thoroughly through this demonstration video. Thank you.